Okay, well, this is a big challenge, but I'm going to give this a bash. Last few times I've been out in my car, I've realized that the aircon basically just isn't working anymore. And, you know, it's an old car and it's a European car, so if you take it to the dealers, they think they're going to charge you about $300 or $400 to fix it. Did my homework and found out that a regas is actually not very difficult, and the tools are really cheap. I bought a little line with a pressure gauge on it for about 2,000 yen. A can of refrigerant, that was really cheap. I think that was only about 300 or 400 yen. And this can of conditioning oil, the small can on the left, from all the videos and stuff I saw on YouTube, it seems like this is a good idea for older systems, because if you've got small leaks, even if you regas it, probably within a year or so, you know, you're going to have to do it again. Whereas this conditioning stuff actually kind of conditions the seals inside your system, and hopefully it will seal up any small leaks. So from what I can work out, basically you stick the conditioner stuff in first. You should even see some improvement in the temperature coming out of the vents after doing that. And then you stick the refrigerant in. Of course, you've got to check the needle on the you know, the pressure gauge. You can probably see it's got a blue zone there. It's partly temperature dependent, so it's a pretty warm day out there today. It's about 30 degrees already. But from what I gather, basically the needle should be in the upper area of the blue zone. So yeah, I'm going to give it a bash and see what happens. Okay, so here we go. This is my 2001 model BMW Z3. First step, you've got to find the low pressure air conditioning port on the BMWs. It's kind of towards the back, down the side of the engine. You can see the little cap just down here. The high pressure one is closer to the front. It's sort of sticking up just there. I haven't tested the idea, but apparently you can't screw it up because the fittings are different sizes. So even if you tried to put it onto the wrong one, it's not going to work. Okay, so I've got the temperature gauge sitting inside the car at the moment. It's already about 31 degrees out here. It's a pretty hot day. Inside the car it's crazy, it's like 40 or something. So I'm going to start the engine and get the air conditioning running, and then connect up all the gear, and I'll let you know how it goes. Right, well, I've stuck my IKEA very high-tech temperature gauge to the air conditioning outlet. I don't think it's had enough time to reach the correct temperature, but it's saying 36 degrees in here at the moment, so it's pretty warm. Hopefully it'll drop down a little bit once I start the air conditioning. To do this recharge properly, you've got to, of course, switch on the air conditioning. So I'll just start the car and get it all going. Oh, yeah, it's just popped up to 37, so opening the door didn't make it any cooler. It's actually still getting hotter. Okay, so yeah, well, the aircon's already on. I don't think it really makes any difference whether you've got it on recirc or not in terms of doing the regas, but I'll turn it off anyway. So it's just aircon on. Turn it on full fan, just so that we've got most of the air coming out of the center port. I'll switch off the side outlets as well. Okay, so we've got it all coming out the center outlet. I don't expect to see much of a drop in temperature. Well, currently it's on 39, so yeah, she's pretty warm. Alright, like I said, it may drop down a little bit, but probably not much. So, here we go. Okay, so the first step is to screw the little can of conditioning oil onto the contraption itself. So we'll do that first, and then I'll hook it up to the low pressure port in the engine. Okay, so I've got the hose set up with the oil conditioner can. Pressure is currently reading in the low blue zone, so that's probably not enough. Anyway, we'll do the conditioner first, and then we'll see if there's any improvement. Okay, well, there was no obvious difference after I put the conditioning oil in. I think it's still pretty damn hot in the car. Temperature's dropped to 36, so that's the temperature of the air coming out of the actual air conditioning vent. So I suspect that there's really just not enough gas in the system. Now I've screwed the can of gas onto the actual setup itself. Valve on top is fully unscrewed so that the can's not pierced yet. Then just click it back onto the low pressure port and let the gas go and see what happens. Well, I'm not sure how that went really, but I let the gas go for a while. They say that the pressure will actually shoot up higher than necessary at first. So you'll see that now it's in the upper blue zone. I'm not sure how much gas is left in the can, but I'm going to give it one more go and see if I can get the pressure just a little tiny bit higher, because it's a hot day, so the pressure reading will be higher than it should be anyway. Okay, so I've basically released all the gas into the system now. The pressure seems to have stabilized in the upper blue zone. So I'm going to shut off the valve and then take the couplings off of the low pressure port and go in the car and see if there's any difference. Right, well, not a dramatic difference yet, but you can see that the air coming out of the port in the center is now on 30, and to my hand the air actually feels much colder than it was before. I'm not sure, but I think it takes a while for the regas and the conditioning oil to have its maximum effect. So I'm just going to leave it running for a while and put the system on recirc and close the doors up and see if I can actually survive on a hot day in this car again. Well, not quite the dramatic result that I'd hoped for, but as you can see, the air coming out of the vent right now is 26. So we've got about a 10-degree drop. Current temperature outside is 33.5 outside. I don't know, it might continue to drop a bit further once the gas works its way through the system and the oil starts to do its job. Certainly there's a big improvement, but not quite the improvement I would have hoped for. It may even need to take another can of refrigerant, so I'll just check it out over the next couple of days, maybe check the pressure again, and the refrigerant itself is so cheap, it's only $3 or $4. So yeah, anyway, not a bad result. At least now the car's drivable in hot weather. Alright, thanks for watching. Well, it's been about another 10 minutes or so. Happy to see that the temperature is still dropping. Don't know if you can see that. Currently on 24. I've just increased the engine revs a bit too, because the air conditioning compressor probably runs a bit better at higher speed, so on the highway it's probably going to be even colder. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that result. Alright. Okay, took a drive to the convenience store and got the revs up a bit. Temperature is still dropping, so I'm pretty happy about that. The vent temperature is currently on 22 degrees. And the outside temperature is getting hotter today. It's 34.5. So yeah, I think I'll just call it quits there. Hopefully the temperatures will keep dropping as the system stabilizes.